What's going on, hockey friends? We are back, and today we are asking the age-old question about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Will this be the year they finally win a playoff round? Now I know what you're all thinking. They're gonna blow it, they're gonna find a way to lose, and Boston or Tampa in 7, and while that has historically been true, in this video we'll be going over the factors that speak both in favor and against the Leafs in the playoffs, so let's get right into it. Now it's quite easy to see that Dubas is going all out this year with major additions like Ryan O'Reilly, one of the biggest deals leading up to the trade deadline, and while Dubas had to send away a few draft picks, including a first rounder in this year's draft, I think it's the right call. Ryan O'Reilly is a difference maker. He has boatloads of experience from the playoffs and he's gone all the way, winning the cup with St. Louis in 2019 and on top of that, winning the Conn Smythe as well. Now this season, he has struggled a bit, but his underlying numbers, courtesy of JFresh and his excellent player cards, look great. But the one issue we have with Ryan O'Reilly is that he's injured and has been on LTIR, and Sheldon Keefe hopes that he'll be back for the playoffs. Now, he's gonna be a major addition when he does get back, and you never know with the playoffs and injuries like these. A broken finger sucks because it limits pretty much everything you can do with a hockey stick. But we also know that hockey players are different animals when it comes to playing through injuries in the playoffs. With that said, Ryan O'Reilly is a tremendous pickup. Yes, it's a rental, but it's what you have to do if you want to go far in the playoffs. Other than Ryan O'Reilly, the major addition the Leafs made was Jake McCabe from Chicago, and yeah, it's a great deal. McCabe has been an analytics darling on a very bad Chicago team, and even though I don't look at plus minus that much, the fact that he managed to be a plus on this team is quite incredible. They also added Erik Gustafsson, who has been fine, but I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of this trade. I would have rather kept Rasmus Sandin, and he's been killing it in Washington, but obviously there were circumstances that led to the trade. He wasn't getting top for a minute, and I guess the coaches didn't trust him. But all these trades were obviously to add depth to both the forward core and the defensive core, and Dubas accomplished what he had to do. In my video following the Leafs' first round exit last year, one of the things I wanted to see was Dubas going out there and improving the bottom 6, because that's where they were beat. Sure, the top guys didn't really perform either, but Tampa's depth essentially won them the series. So they added that, and while Ryan O'Reilly is injured, I think adding Sam Lafferty and Nola Chari was shrewd business from Dubas as well. And I mean, he realizes that at some point you simply have to get it done. It's gonna cost you draft picks, it's gonna cost you prospects, but they are in a win now mode and they have to get past that hump. Now will they? We shall see. So with the Leafs over the past years, it seems like it doesn't matter what they do. They are going out in the first round no matter what, and at some point you have to question their mentality and their grit. Now, I'm not a huge mentalities guy when it comes to sports. I believe in putting in the performance and creating your own luck and success when it comes to team-based success. Obviously, a player can lack confidence and can turn that around, but on a team level, I'm not so sure. I think you just have to be better and win, and that's on the players of course, but obviously on the coach to cook up a winning strategy, get the matchups right and motivate the team. But also on the front office, you have to build a winning team, and I think this year the pressure is on more than ever. Last year, the pressure was high on Dubas of course to get it right. They didn't, but I think this year, if they go out in the first round, changes have to be made. I was willing to give Dubas and Keefe another year after last year, but this year, I don't think so. Because in case you haven't heard already, Austin Matthews has 1 year left on his deal, and if the Leafs can't go on a playoff run this year, I think he might start to look elsewhere. And in that last video on the Leafs, I compared them to their football or soccer equivalent, Tottenham Hotspur. Both teams have history and have had or have some of the best attacking talent in the world, but they can't get it done. Both of them haven't won a championship since the 60s, for example, and Kyle Dubas can't let the Leafs become the Spurs of the NHL. And I see some similarities between Harry Kane, the big star for Tottenham, and Austin Matthews, and they both have expiring deals in 2024, so both of them might get sick and decide to pack it up and go somewhere else where they think they can win. Now, if we're getting back on track, losing Matthews is a no-go. You cannot let that happen under any circumstance, and the only way to do that is to win. I have no doubt that Matthews wants nothing more than to win in Toronto and to become the best Leaf of all time, and I think he has the potential to do that, but he's 26 this year. He's gonna be 27 by the time his deal expires, and to not have won or even had a sniff at winning, I think that's going to affect his decision whether he stays or not. To me, Connor McDavid was on a similar path up until last year when Edmonton went on that run to the conference final. That's still not enough, you have to be consistent with it, but it's a first step. The Leafs haven't done that yet. But if we're focusing on this season, Matthews slowed down a bit with his production, but the rest of that top 6 is purring. Everyone is looking very good, and I mean, that's not surprising. It's one of the best forward groups in the NHL, and I mean, on paper, they should be able to get it done. But we talk about mentality and mental blocks and humps, and it seems like the Leafs have run into it. Like I said earlier, I'm not a huge mentalities guy, but you have to think that if the Leafs can get past this hump that is the first round, they might do something in the playoffs. And then you realize they're probably running into Boston in the second round, and that's when they're just gonna roll over and die. So at this moment in time, it looks like we're getting another round of Toronto versus Tampa. Now, that's a good matchup in itself, but it's the eternal question, or at least since 2014, and it's the playoff structure. Now every year we get the same debate. The matchups are predictable and the same teams always play each other, and we had that with Toronto and Boston a few years back, we've had it with Pittsburgh and Washington before that, and I agree, I'm not a fan of the current playoff structure. I want to return to the 1 through 8 in each conference. To begin with, it's just easier to keep track of and it gives us more varied matchups. Now, funnily enough, at the time of recording, there would still be a possibility of Toronto playing Tampa, so I guess they're destined to play each other. But I think it's an issue at the moment, especially in the Atlantic Division with how the power balance is and has been over the past few years, with Tampa and Toronto being perennial playoff teams, and then we have Boston this year because, well, of course, Boston had to come back even stronger, and it's gonna lead to a great matchup in the second round with probably Boston versus Toronto or Tampa. But that's the issue. It's way too early in the playoffs for 2 of the top 6, top 7, whatever teams in the league to be out in the second round. I mean, a conference final between Boston and Toronto would be sensational, but we won't get that if they finish in their divisional playoff spots. And I see where the NHL want to go with this structure. You get a division final in the second round, and in the third round you get the division winners to play each other, but let's be real. No one cares about that. I've never heard anyone celebrate a divisional champ. Okay, well anyways, we need to go back to the 1 through 8 system, and the NHLers agree on this, so let's just get that done, please. But at the end of the day, the Leafs have to get past that first round no matter what. I don't care if it's against Tampa or anyone else, they need to win. And I'm not demanding the Leafs go and win the cup because they're not favorites in my book, but they're definitely a top 5 favorite if you just look at the team and how they're performing. This team should be getting to the second round, and that's the bare minimum for a team that has some of the best forwards in the game. Obviously, the playoffs are a different animal and injuries and other unforeseen events can occur, but they need to get over that and get it done, and I'm gonna leave you with a prediction. I think they will. I think the Leafs will beat Tampa in the first round. What happens after that, I will not comment on. I just hope you enjoyed the playoffs. And if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.